Well, hey, all right, I'm gonna start now. Nice to see y'all, though. Nice to see you, Everett. And anybody who's joining online later, I guess it's nice for you to see me. I'm trying to. There we go. Problem solved. Cool. It's nice to be back. I hope y'all are back, right? Anybody watching this. And I hope you're safe, or as safe as we can all be. It's nice to be able to be back with y'all and do some yoga. I think I was saying earlier, we did that Friday class donation for Hurricane Ida, and we raised almost over $400 so in one class. So it was really awesome. So really, the New Orleans yoga community, which y'all are all part of, right? And it's a pretty darn awesome thing. So so thanks. You know, at least I knew coming back that we'd be able to get back to the swing of this, even if there's just a couple of us on here, right? I need this as much as you need it, though, just so you know. All right, so you're already there, but if not, find a comfortable seat, right? And maybe close your eyes. I may have to go take that toy away from Astrid in just a moment. So if you see me get up, that's where I go. But, right, close your eyes or maybe look downward or just relax your eyes or your face. Right, give yourself a moment here, right, to transition to whatever or from whatever you were doing, right? Into this, which hopefully can be a little more peaceful than much of the last few weeks have been. Right? And just be a nice reminder that we practice the yoga asana, right? The movement, the postures, the poses, to really help us for the harder times in life, right? For when we need to be able to take that deep breath, we have these tools in our toolbox, or for us to be able to manage some of these harder or difficult, things that happen to us. And maybe words aren't coming as well as they normally do for me today either. Or maybe they never do. But let's sit up nice and tall and lift our heart up and bring the shoulders back. Sorry, she's really loving that toy right now. Let the muscles, right, of your jaw relax. Let the muscles around your eyes soften. And then if it feels right, and join your palms together at the center of your heart in Anjali Mudra. And we'll start off class like we always do. In this way that honors the work that we're about to do for our body and mind, and in this way that honors the yoga tradition and practice that, again, has been passed down from India and South Asia, that we get to use and share and hopefully bring some comfort during these crazy, a little more difficult times. So with a collective breath and a collective Om, we'll begin. Let's take a deep, full inhale and a complete exhale. And inhale for the sound of Om. Your heart still lifted, bow your head towards your hands. And maybe you set an intention, right, for today's class, or maybe you dedicate this effort and action to someone or something else or some other group, right? Or maybe it's really one of those days where you'll hold yourself in just a little more consciousness or awareness for just another breath. And then when you're ready, release your hands, raise your head, and bring light back into your eyes. And we'll start off in tabletop, so hands and knees. So we'll meet there. And then once we get there, let's just start to move through a few rounds of cow cats, right, with your own breath. So inhaling to find cow pose. And exhaling for cat pose. Not worrying about the flow or where I'm at. And maybe you're already pausing in one of them and adding a little side stretch to it, because that felt really good for me just now. Right? But just starting to move a little more inward into our bodies. Right? And our inhales spreading the back of the tailbone, lowering the belly and lifting the heart up. And our exhales rounding the spine and bringing the chin towards our chest. Again, not forgetting about any kind of side bend that might feel really good to you right now, or anything in between. Let's do one more round of cow cats, and then we'll meet back in a neutral spine. Nice. Once you find your neutral spine, check that your hands are about outer shoulder distance apart, right? Fingers are spread, pointer fingers are turned slightly more out than in. And then we're going to extend our right leg back behind us and bring our toes to the floor. And let's rock forwards and back a little bit here. Yeah. And then after the next rock, let's find a little more stillness. Right, extend out through that right heel like the foot's pressed into a wall behind us. Maybe you need to drop that right hip a little bit, but maybe you don't. We're just trying to keep the hips neutral. So, if it's not lifted up, don't do anything. Right? Engage your core by hugging the low belly in, right, and up. And then let's lift that right leg up off the mat, or the right foot up off the mat, maintaining all the rest of the actions that we worked on. Right? Trying to keep those right toes that point a little more towards the floor. If you'd like, and right, it's not necessary, maybe you reach the left arm forward, palm facing the body, thumb facing the sky, and then just reaching. That's not what I say on that one usually, but you got it. Nice. I think I did say that backwards or weird. We're just reaching the left arm forward. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Lower the left hand, lower the right knee if it's down. And let's find a child's pose here. So toes come together, arms nice and long. Knees wide. I'll get back in the groove here in a moment, I'm sure. All right, maybe you rock your head side to side. And while we're here, let's come up onto our fingertips and walk our hands over towards the right side. All right, maybe you come up onto that right thigh or just super close to it. Finding a nice long stretch on the left side of our body. Sending the hips back just a little bit more. And take another deep full inhale. And complete exhale. Inhaling. And exhaling. And then we'll walk our hands back through center. And over towards the left. Maybe coming up onto that left thigh or just in that direction. Right, finding length on that right side of our body. Still working to send our hips back energetically and coming back to your breath. We'll take 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Go ahead and walk your hands back through center, and we'll meet back in tabletop, or neutral spine. Yeah. All right, again, check that our hands are outer shoulder distance apart, right? Fingers are spread, arms are strong, right? Hips are right over the knees, and then we'll extend the left leg back behind us, bring the left toes to the floor. And then again, rock forwards and back a couple breaths, or a couple times. Right, get into the ankle, get into the feet, the toes, the whole body there. And then we'll find some stillness. All right. Extend out through that left heel, like the left foot's pressed into a wall behind us. Again, maybe that left hip drops a bit, but maybe not, right? You can just kind of touch your sacrum to kind of see if you need to. Right? Engage the core, hugging the low belly in and up, right? And keeping the spine nice and long. Maybe you stay like this. Maybe you reach the left leg up, right? Still keeping those left toes pointing more towards the floor than out towards the left. Right? Still trying to keep the hips neutral or level. Keep the core firm, and then maybe you reach the right arm forward. Oh, I do say palm facing the body, thumb facing the sky. I didn't say that wrong last time. I'm sorry. Right? And let's take 2 breaths here. Right? Deep full inhale. Complete exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Lower your hand, lower your knee back down. And we're going to keep the hips stacked over the knees and then walk our arms forward to come into puppy pose. Big shoulder opener, right? So arms are more in like a downward dog shape. You can keep your forehead more down, or you can kind of look up forward where your chin is more on the mat. 2 different ways to do the same pose. It's really just what feels good for you in this moment, right? Big shoulder opener. The action here that I think of is to bring my sternum a little closer towards the mat, even though it's nowhere near touching it, right? I'm just working on that action to really open up the shoulders. Let's take 1 more big breath here. Inhaling and exhaling. And then start to walk your hands back, find tabletop pose. Yeah. Nice. Tuck your toes if they're not already tucked. Okay. Engage your core if it's not already engaged. Okay. And then lift your knees up off the mat. Just let them hover for just a breath. Inhale and exhale. We'll start to stick our hips higher up in the air and lengthen our heels down towards the mat for downward facing dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right, and definitely pedal out your feet, your ankles, right? Or maybe you need to walk your feet back just a little bit from where you were. Do whatever feels good for you here. And if downward dog doesn't feel good for you, right, do a child's pose. Or do puppy pose. Right, knowing that those are great alternatives. Let's start to walk our feet towards our hands, and we'll keep a bend in our knees, the top of the mat. And maybe grab opposite elbows, and just let the head and the torso sway side to side. Maybe shake the head yes, or shake it no. Just let the head and the shoulders be a little heavier here. Maybe the hips are moving side to side as well. See if you can close your eyes and just melt a little more inward, right? Just for a moment, embracing all these feelings that we felt over the last, 2 weeks, I guess now, or more. And then let's release our hands down towards the mat and just start rising up vertebrae by vertebrae, right? With our eyes closed, not worrying about how fast or slow we're moving. Right now, worrying if we're the last one to stand. Just get in there. Just arriving in your time. when you come to standing, find your Tadasana, your mountain pose. We'll check that our feet are about hip distance apart. Right. Toes slightly in, heels slightly out. Ground down through the feet. Lift the heart up, bring the shoulders back. Your next inhale, reach your arms up high overhead, and then with our right hand, we're going to grab our left wrist. All right? So we'll grab the left wrist, and we'll take a nice side bend over towards the right. Okay? Right, maybe you're looking forward, maybe you're looking up towards the sky, right? Turning your head to the left. There's no wrong way. Okay? Just a bunch of different ways, of course. Creating as much length on that left side while still grounding down through both feet. Let's take 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Nice. Come back to center. Reach the arms forward and down and just shake all that out, right? Maybe some side to side, maybe some shoulder rolls feel nice, right? Just whatever feels good for you. And then come back to stillness or come back to center. That's stillness. All right. Stand up tall and just reach your arms back up overhead. This time with our left hand, we'll grab our right wrist. Excuse me there. All right, and then again, try to just arch over towards the opposite side. And again, maybe turning your head or looking forward, or maybe turning your head more towards the right. Not worrying, just lengthening. Keeping the legs strong. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Let's come back to center. Reach the arms forward and down and shake that out. Nice. All right. All right, stand up nice and tall. Let's bring our arms in front of us like we're holding the platter. We're going to do that platter twist here. So shoulders are right over the elbows, right? Forearms and wrists are in one line. Lift the heart up. Take a deep full inhale. And on your exhale, twist over towards the right. All right, but try to keep your head and your sternum in the same direction. So whichever way your sternum is facing, try to keep your head facing or your eyes in that same direction here. You may have to resist with that right hip a little bit to make it come forward a bit, right, to keep the hips more neutral. Lift the heart up a little bit more, and then maybe you start to turn your head past that right shoulder, just to add the cervical spine to the twist. Nice. 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Slowly come back to center. Right, stand up tall. Right, notice your shoulders. Let them drop back. Deep full inhale. And on your exhale, we'll twist over towards the left. And the same thing, your left hip, you may have to resist that and send it back a little bit more to make that happen. Again, keep the head and the sternum in one space, in one line. Lift the heart up, stand up taller. Another full inhale. And on your exhale, maybe you start to turn your shoulder past, turn your gaze past your left shoulder. Right, to add the neck to the twist here. And take another full breath. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly come back to center. And let all of that go. Oh, all right. Come to the top of our mats. We'll We'll flow a little bit. We'll do a round or so of Surya Namaskar A. All right, but we're going to take it extra slow today. And of course, you do any modifications or variations of any of these poses that feel good for you. Right, I'm just the guide. The guide is what I said. All right, stand up tall, lift the heart up, bring the shoulders back. On your next inhale, reach your arms up high overhead. Find a little bit of a back bend, Urdhva Hastasana. Right on your next exhale, let's hinge at the hips and fold forward over extended legs. Right, we're going to pause here for a moment in Uttanasana. So right, if your blocks are in front of you, maybe your hands are on blocks. If they're not handy, maybe your hands are on ankles or shins, right, or fingertips. Right, trying to keep the back of our legs extended here because, I don't know, we've probably been sitting down a lot, right, between driving or flying or whatever we might have been doing. Right, just creating some length in our hamstrings. Right, not worrying about how low our head gets or how close our nose gets to our knees, because that's just not important. Take another breath or so here. Right? See if you can take a deeper inhale this time. And a more complete exhale. And then, of course, see if you can do it again. And then one more time. Inhaling. And exhaling. Let's all inhale to lengthen halfway. Ardha Uttanasana, right? Long, flat back. And then exhale to plant your palms, step back through plank pose, and we'll pause in plank pose. Right? Hands are outer shoulder distance apart, just like they were for our tabletop. Biceps are turned a little more forward. Right? Core nice and firm, and we're extending out through our heels. Right? Lots and lots of strength here, like our feet are pressed into that imaginary wall behind us. Let's take 3 full breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Lower your knees to the mat. We'll keep our butt up high in the air as we bring our chin and chest forward and down. Ashtanga Namaskar. And then untuck your toes, pull your heart forward. We'll come into a baby cobra pose. Right, tops of the toes are down. Legs are firm. The knees lift up when we firm the legs usually. Right, hands by the low ribs and elbows close to the body. Imagine you're trying to get the shoulder blades to touch. Right, a little bit more. Lift the heart up. Right, gaze a little more forward. Now if there's any pain in your low back, right, lower down. If you haven't done this pose in a while, right, maybe you're not quite as high as you normally are. And that's totally all right. Let's take 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Let's lower down. Tuck our toes. Push seat to heel. Straighten legs. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Or downward facing dog. Again, maybe you pedal out your feet here, right? Bend into one knee or move in some other way that feels good for your body. Maybe a little more stillness and firmness is what you need, right? Or maybe it's a little more movement. Take 1 more breath, and then we'll come back to stillness or to center. And then soften your knees, gaze forward, step, walk, or jump your feet to meet your hands. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Let's pause in Uttanasana again. So we're pausing in the forward fold, right? Hands are on ankles, shins, fingertips, blocks. Right, there's no wrong way here. Just a whole bunch of right ways.
another breath here. And then on your next inhale, start to rise up. You can reach your arms up high overhead. We'll come back into that back bend and Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale to stand tall, Tadasana, mountain pose. Just take a moment. And maybe your eyes stay closed or soft or relaxed. But let the neck be nice and long and just energetically pressing the head back a bit. Still lifting the heart up and the shoulders back. Right, firming the core just a little bit to help build some strength and to support our body. A little tuck of the tailbone. Just be here for another breath. And if your eyes are closed, start to bring light back into them. And we'll bring our hands to our hips. No, I'm going to change that. We're going to stand up tall and reach our arms back up overhead. Nice. Deep full inhale here. And exhale to hinge at the hips and fold forward. Inhale to lengthen. You can fingertips blocks, right? Whatever works for you. And then we're going to step the left leg way back behind us and bring the left knee to the mat. All right. From here, we'll press the left hand down on the mat or a block, reach the right arm out to the right and up towards the sky for a super big twist. Nice. And then again, right, go as deep as feels good for you and your body right now. And maybe you're gazing forward, right? Maybe you're looking up towards the sky, but know that there's no wrong way. Right? We're just twisting this spine, moving with our body, and finally getting to be together again. Right? Let's take 2 more breaths together. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. And then we'll bring that right hand back down to the mat. From here, start to energize the hips a little bit more so that left hip is coming forward, that right hip is coming back, and then let's lift the left knee up off the mat. Now, if that doesn't feel good either today, right, after maybe a week or so of no asana, keep the left knee grounded and hang there for a bit longer, right? Again, we're pressing that left heel, if that knee is lifted, into that imaginary wall behind us. Right, reaching out through the crown of our head, creating all this length here. You got it. Nice. Maybe you stay just like this, right? Maybe you bring your hands to that front thigh, but maybe you don't, right? Maybe today you don't, right? If you're getting wobbly like me, walk that right foot out to the right, and that might help a little bit. Keep the hips strong, left hip forward, right hip back, and then if you'd like, reach the arms up high. We're going to take 3 breaths here this time. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Great job. Bring your hands back down if they're up. Step the left foot forward to meet the right and find that forward fold. Maybe let out a sigh. Right? Maybe your legs stay extended in this fold. Maybe there's a bit of a bend in your knees. Same thing. Maybe you grab opposite elbows again, or it might be nice to bring your hands behind your back and reach your fists up towards the sky. And might be nice doing something you don't normally do in one of these poses. Take another breath here. And then release your hands back down towards the mat if they're lifted. Inhale to lengthen halfway. Nice. Slowly start to lower our hands back towards the mat. Right? And we're going to, or to blocks, and we'll step our right leg way back behind us and come down to that right knee. Excuse me, that left knee will bend over the left ankle. So we're going to lunge. I should have said. All right. From here, Right knee is grounded. We'll place the right hand either on the mat or blocks. Reach the left arm out to the left and up towards the sky for another big twist. Maybe you're gazing towards your left. Maybe you're looking up towards the sky. Really whatever feels good for you and your body. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Bring that left hand back down to the mat or your block. And then we'll start to energize the hips a little bit. So that right hip is coming forward, the left hip is coming back. Right? Or you're kind of scissoring the thighs towards one another. Same options, right? Maybe you keep that right knee grounded a little longer. Maybe you lift that right knee up. Right? If the right knee is lifted up, press your right heel into that imaginary wall that's always in my classes with us. Right? So we have lots of length. We're lifting the back of the right knee towards the sky. Still firm in the hip, so that right hip is coming forward, that left hip is coming back. Maybe you hang out here, okay? Maybe you bring your hands to that front thigh. Keeping all those actions, right hip forward, left hip back, heart lifted. Maybe you hang here, maybe you reach your arms up. And no, there's no wrong way. We'll stay here for 3 breaths. Right? Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2, awesome job. Inhale, exhale 3. Start to bring your hands back down to your mat. We'll step the right foot to meet the left foot at the top of the mat and fold over extended legs. And let out a big sigh when you can. Soften your knees. And then start to rise up, stacking vertebrae on top of vertebrae. Right, again, not worrying if it's quick or slow or if we're waiting on you or anything like that, because we're not. We're just moving our bodies. When you find Tadasana, right, let all that go. Let's take a deep full inhale and a complete exhale. Let's come into wide legs here. So we'll come to the long side of our mat and come into wide legs. Right? Just like our Tadasana standing pose, right? Toes are in, heels are slightly out. Lift the heart up, bring the shoulders back. So let's reach our arms out into a T. Try to get those triceps to wake up like we often do. So we're pressing down on the imaginary post of what works best for me. Like we're pressing down on something to get these tricep muscles to really light up. Right? If that makes sense to you. Let the shoulders drop back still though. Let the heart lift a little bit more. Nice. Right, from here, we're going to turn our right toes towards the right short side of the mat and gaze past our right fingertips. From here, we'll bend that right knee towards a square with the ground, stacking the knee over the ankle. Maybe that left leg needs to scoot back a little bit to make that feel a little more comfortable. Right? Shoulders stay over the hips. We're in Warrior 2 or Virabhadrasana 2. Right? Nice 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Start to extend that right leg. So we have both our legs are lengthened or straight. Start to reach the right fingertips forward till we can't reach anymore. And then bring that right hand down to your ankle, your shin, a block outside your right leg. And the left arm up for Utthita Trikonasana. Right, or extended triangle pose. Nice, creating length not just on that right side of the body or that left side of the body, but also underneath on that right side of the body. Nice. Take 3 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Ground down through both feet. Rise up, arms into a T. Nice. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn your feet to parallel. Just take a breath, right? Maybe you let your arms sway side to side again if that feels good. And then we'll come back to stillness or back to center. Right, check our feet, toes in, heels out, legs are strong. Lift the heart up, bring the shoulders back, and then arms out into a T, palms facing down. Again, get those triceps to light up by pressing down to those imaginary posts, right, to help firm the triceps. And then we're going to turn our left toes towards the left short side of the mat and gaze past our left fingertips. You got it. We'll bend that left knee towards a square of the ground, stacking the knee over the ankle. And maybe you need to lengthen or step that right leg back just a bit to make that feel comfortable. Right? Just notice your body there. Nice. Gaze softly past your left fingertips, and we'll stay in Warrior 2 for 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Nice. Start to lengthen that front leg. And then we'll start to reach the left fingertips towards the left short side until we can't reach anymore. And then bring the left hand down to the left ankle, the block outside the leg, right? The knee, the shin. Maybe you're gazing forward here. Maybe you're looking up towards the sky, right? In triangle pose for 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Awesome job. Ground down through both feet. Rise up. Awesome. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn your feet to parallel. And then step or jump your feet together. Shake it out. All right, find your Tadasana, your mountain pose. We're going to do a little balancing now. We're going to do Vrikshasana, or tree pose. So we'll start off by grounding down firmly in through our right leg. Let's bring our hands to our hips. And then we'll bring the sole of our left foot to the right ankle. Right? And know that we're already in tree pose, right? We can hang out here for as long as we need to. And then maybe you bring your foot to your ankle, or to your calf, or maybe you bring your foot all the way to your inner thigh. It's anywhere but the knee, right? And then all the other actions, right, that we've been working on. Lifting the heart up, bringing the shoulders back, keeping the core firm, grounding down through our standing leg. And then if you like, you can bring your palms together or reach your arms up high overhead and find your variation, right, today, and however it might look. Nice catch. Come back to your breath here. See if you can take another inhale and exhale. And see if you can deepen that a little bit more. And bring the air a little bit lower into your belly or into your body. And then release just a little bit more out of it. 1 more breath. Inhale and exhale. Bring our hands to a prayer or to our hips. Bring the left knee forward and release it down and shake it out. Awesome. Come back to stillness or Tadasana, mountain pose. Stand up tall. Ground down through our left leg this time. Yep. We'll bring our hands to our hips to start off. And we'll bring the sole of our right foot to the left ankle. right? Keep the hips open, right? So that the hip bones are still pointing in the same direction there. Nice. Maybe you bring your foot to your calf. Maybe you bring your foot all the way to your inner thigh. And maybe this side feels totally different than the last side. And the same thing with your hands. Feel free to jump ahead while I'm talking always, right? Palms to prayer or up overhead, or maybe it changes. There we go. Nice. Keep your neck long. Okay? And gaze at something that's not moving. And just be here for a moment. Right? With your body in this pretty powerful pose. Right? Even with all of its wobbles, right? Even when every time we fall and being able to get right back up. This. Nice. Take another full breath here. Deep, full inhale. And complete exhale. You bring your palms to prayer, to your hips. Bring the right knee forward and release it down. Shake it out. All right. All right, let's come on to our bellies on the mat. So we'll come on to our stomachs here. And just take a breath for a moment. Right. Giving yourself permission to slow down. Right, as I'm sure we've all been super busy trying to get life back to normal. And just allowing yourself that chance, every chance we can. Now let's reach our arms down by the sides of our body. All right, tops of our toes will stay grounded. Let's firm the legs up so the knees lift up a bit, and then lift the heart up. All right, so we're going to stay in half locust pose or Ardha Shalabhasana. So tops of the toes, the legs will stay grounded, heart will lift. Reach the fingertips towards the feet. Nice, 2 full breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale 2, release it down. Make a pillow with your hands, let your hips sway side to side. And then come back to center. Again, we'll reach the arms down by the sides of the body. We'll firm up the legs. But this time on your next inhale, we'll lift everything we can up off the mat. But firm your core as we do this. So we're hugging the low belly up towards the spine, right? While we lift as much of our body as we can up off the mat. So the pelvis stays really grounded and heavy. Nice, 2 full breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1, hug your thighs together. Inhale. Exhale 2, release it all down. Make that pillow with your hands, let your hips sway side to side again. And then we'll make our way onto our backs, so we'll roll over onto our backs. The feet planted and the knees bent. You can let the knees sway side to side for a moment if that feels good. And then come back to stillness or just center. Let's hug the right knee in towards the body. Give the right knee a little squeeze. All right, try to keep the sacrum, right, the big bone at the base of our hips grounded here. Start to flex the right toes towards the right knee. And then we'll lift the right leg out long. And don't worry about how perpendicular to the floor that leg is, right? It might look more like this. It might look more like that, right? But there's no wrong way. We just want length. Right? You can hold onto that right thigh if that's comfortable. You can keep your hands grounded and use a little more hip flexor strength there if you'd rather. Right? No wrong way as well. And maybe you do a little ankle roll here in one direction or the other direction. Maybe you point and flex for another breath. Yeah. Just one more breath, however feels good for you in this variation of the pose. And then release that foot back down to the next to the left foot. Nice. Let the hips swing or the knees sway side to side. And then back to center. Hug the left knee in towards our body. Give it a nice squeeze. Flex the left toes towards the left knee. So we're firming up the leg we're trying to lengthen and stretch. And then we'll extend the left leg up towards the sky. And same thing, right? It might look somewhat perpendicular. It might not. It might feel like it is, and it might not be, right? So let it be whatever. Just creating length. And then same thing, right? Maybe you'll hold the thigh. Maybe you keep the hands down. And then some pointing and flexing might be nice. Some rolling out the ankles in one direction or the other direction. One more breath here, however best serves you. And then release that left foot back down to the mat. All right, open your arms out into a T or into goalpost if you can't quite find a T. All right, and then lift your knees up towards your belly. All right, we'll drop our knees over towards the right side. And then turn our gaze past the left shoulder for Supta Matsyendrasana, or a supine spinal twist. Trying our best to let the shoulder blades stay grounded. Trying our best to soften the muscles in our face. And to just be as fully present with our body as we can. One more breath here. And then slowly back to center. Again, arms can come back out into a T, or if you hug them in, right, give yourself that hug. And then we're going to drop our knees over towards the left side. Again, trying to keep the shoulder blades grounded, but right, it might be a little harder if we haven't done this in a while. I know one side is super tight for me, and it's this side. Maybe you start to gaze past that right shoulder. Just let the heart open up. Right, let yourself be in this twist. Notice your body. See if you can slow your mind down. One more breath here. And then we'll come back to center and hug our knees in. This time, give ourselves that well-deserved hug. And then one more time, we'll bring our palms down to the mat and lengthen both of our legs up towards the sky for a variation of Viparita Karani, or legs up the wall, or imaginary wall as I call it. Right. Firm your core here by hugging your low belly down towards your spine. Lengthen the back of our legs. Right? Extend out through your heels and flex your toes towards your body. We'll take 3 breaths to lower our legs down to the mat. And as always, if I move too quick or too slow, you move at the way that serves you and your body. So inhale to lengthen. Exhale to lower your legs any amount. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to lower your legs any amount more. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to lower your heels all the way down into your mat. Let your feet open up. Let your palms face towards the sky. And settle yourself into your shavasana, or your mindful rest. And I'll be silent for just a couple of minutes, right, so that you can fully arrive. Trying to let this shavasana be as supportive for you as it can be. Not worrying about everything else going on in your world or in the world, but just being with your body here. Take a deep, full inhale. And a complete exhale. As you start to bring small, mindful movements back to your body, right? Wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, maybe reaching your arms overhead like you just woke up. And of course, any of that feels good for you. When you're ready, bringing your feet to the mat or hugging your knees towards your body and making your way to whatever side feels right today. And then maybe keeping your eyes closed or soft. Slowly starting to make your way back to a comfortable seated position. When you find your seat, and no rush getting there, right? And sit up tall. Right? Bring back all those actions that we've worked on. Right? Lifting the heart up, bringing the shoulders back, pressing the head back a little bit. And then if it feels authentic to you, bring your palms together at the center of your heart to Anjali Mudra. And we'll seal in all the work we just did for our body and our mind in the way that we started. And with a collective breath and a final unified Om. So take a deep, full inhale. And complete exhale. And inhale for the sound of Om. And with your heart lifted, bow your head towards your hands. Maybe set an intention, or you dedicated your practice, or maybe you bring that back into your mind. Right? Like to mention all those that are still struggling due to the hurricane. Right? People without food and without homes and without power and everything in between. Right? May this practice help them in some small way. We'll close class with a Sanskrit word for peace, which is Shanti, 3 times. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. All right, thank y'all so much. Thanks for doing some yoga. I appreciate it.